If I asked you how you were going to get a sale today, how would you answer that question? Do you have a good strategy? Do you have a technique in mind? Because if you don't, what's going to happen is we're about to give you one. Instagram, I just asked Facebook, if I asked you, how are you going to generate a sale today, by which I mean right now, today, not tomorrow, not next week, how would you answer that question? That's what we're going to be talking about with a strategy where, Nick and I were just talking. We constantly are coming up with various strategies. We're testing them. We're learning from our customers. We're getting great results. And then we move on to the next thing because you feel like, oh, I've done this thing. I've got to move on to the next thing. And then I'm like, we were just sitting here talking like, pump the brakes. No one's even heard of this. No one even knows what it is. So I want you to tee it up as people continue to join. We'll talk about that briefly, and then we can pivot into our announcements and the rest.
Okay, sounds good. So this is a really big deal because many of you guys listening, all different types of artists, crafters, painters, photographers, all you guys are on here. Some of you are looking for getting your first sale, getting a couple of more sales, or just trying to get more traction with a business that's actually doing decently well. And this custom art strategy, okay, which is commonly known as like commissions to artists, but I hate that term. I hate that term because
loaded term.
Yeah, it's a loaded term, but it also, like, most consumers don't even know what it is. And the art market is growing so much, and so many new buyers are entering the market. A lot of younger people are buying more art now. They don't know what that term means, And so custom art is a much easier way for somebody to instantly understand what it is that they can get from you, right? And the whole thing here is, guys, and this is a really, really important point, because I guarantee that the vast majority of you have been struggling with this, okay, or are trying to get your business to the next level, and this is still a problem for you. And what that is can be explained like this, okay? Most artists, most photographers think of a subject matter, maybe a couple, they launch their site, they launch with one, they launch with 5 different types of subject matter, which are all guesses, okay? That's all they are. You're taking your talent, you're making a guess at what you believe is marketable, okay? And then you launch a website, you go for it, you start marketing it, hopefully, right? That's your number one problem, is marketing. But you start marketing it, and then you're like, what do I do next? I'm not getting traction, or the traction isn't what I wanted it to be, right? And that could be, you could even be selling $20,000 a year, and you're like, God, my traction isn't where I want it to be, because I really want this to be $100,000 to $200,000 a year or more business, but what I've currently got is not getting me there. Okay. And so this is where the custom art strategy comes into play, and why it's so powerful, you guys. Okay. Because what you can do with this, and as Patrick said, in getting a sale today, all right, all of you that are listening to this could get a sale today if you follow this today, right? If you actually do what we're talking about, and we've got a playbook for you. We're going to get that to you guys in a second, all right? That you guys can all do. You can read it. You can watch the video on it. I created it, and we're going to give that to you guys for free in a moment. But the basic concept is this, okay? Offer custom art, all right? Offer custom art. So if you're a painter, all right, ask your audience. You can just do it on social media. You don't have to send out an email. That'll take you too long. You can do that after, okay, when it works, or if it works for you. But you ask your audience, what do you want me to paint for you? Here's an offer of X dollars, like call it $199 or whatever price point you want to offer. You can be a little bit more aggressive on it on the first one. You say, I'm only going to be doing one of these, all right? And send me a photo of your this or that, your favorite beach, if you're a beach artist, your favorite turtle, if you're a turtle artist, your favorite wedding photo, if you can paint people really well. Doesn't matter what it is. But the big thing here, guys, is that you've got talent and you're trying to sell a niche, okay? And you should still try to do that. That's a process of iterating over time, of finding subject matter that resonates. But when you go direct to your audience and you ask them exactly what they want, and you allow them to actually get from you exactly what they want, everything changes. Okay, we have people who are super talented, who have tried this. I've got more like positive feedback on this strategy than almost anything that we've ever done on how quick it is. And it really blows people's minds, Pat. You know, so many painters, like, it just blows their minds because they're like, oh my gosh, I've been pushing these turtles and these this and this that, you know, all this different type of subject matter. And I get the likes. I'll get likes. I might get a comment here or there, but nobody's really buying. And then all of a sudden they do this, and it's like 3 people instantly drop a comment and say, I want to do this. I want to do this. I want to do this, you know? Yeah. And I've got all the details in the playbook for you guys. But that's the big thing, right? Is understanding that when you launch an art business and you go after a specific subject matter, it's going to take you time to find subject matter that's marketable enough to get you to the level that you want. But today, and in the meantime, you can be making money. You can be making money from your talent, which is the whole point, right? The whole point. You know, well, speaking from a business perspective, you guys, so you can save the comments where you're like, I do this because I love it. I know you do. I know you do. We all try to do that as well. But our job here is just to talk about the business side and help you guys actually make money from your talent. So, you know, it's better to talk about that than talk about how you have to have a job for the rest of your life and, you know, the job you hate in a cubicle or whatever it is. And so you can be making money every month from your talent by taking advantage of this. Wow, you're figuring out the broader strategy of trying to find a niche and having, you know, artwork that's selling and is, you know, where sales are coming in, you know, every month, and you don't have to really do that much except obviously continue to market. But custom artwork, Pat, is way too overlooked. Way too overlooked.
It's not even talked about, because the paradigm is you, the artist or photographer, creates something inspiring and then goes and sells it, right? It's sort of like, you know, let's say you're a chef, or let's say you're a bartender, and I come up to order something and you just hand it to me. Here's the drink I made. Here's the meal I made. Enjoy it, right? And that is how art and photography is thought about. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. And what's really interesting is, like, my wife used to be obsessed with these shows on like HGTV. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where they would hire like a decorator to come in and like spruce the whole house up, right? And they would like interview the couple, and then he would do the whole thing, whatever. And there was this one super fabulous gay guy that was hilarious. There was also an artist, and on the show, every single solitary time, he would take the colors that he did and do a custom piece, right? And then just put it right on the wall. And I was like, oh my God, that is so smart, because it's flipping the idea. It's not, let's go out and find a piece of artwork. It's like, hey, here's this piece of artwork that's going to work for this space. And what Nick and I are saying, like, use this to get a sale today. All of you guys are out there marketing. You've been trying to push your stuff on social media, and let's just say it hasn't sold. You haven't found a niche that's taken off. You haven't found a style that everyone's gravitating towards. Well, how are you going to find it?
Exactly.
You can continue to do trial and error, trial and error, trial and error, trial and error. And by all means, keep doing that. That iteration process is important. But what we're saying is, let's assume on the social media networks, on your email list, everyone knows that you're an artist. Okay. Everyone knows, to take it out of art, that you're the bartender, that you're the chef. Well, all you're saying is, hey guys, I'm a chef. You know, I'm a chef. What meal would you like me to make for you? And then shut up. And what ends up happening is, these guys are like, I always have wanted XYZ in this space. Let me see if this person can go create it. And I know what you're thinking. It doesn't matter if you're an artist or a photographer. In both cases, you can do it. Okay. In both cases, it's easy. Maybe they want something shot in the hometown. And the beautiful thing about it is, it flips the whole thing. It's not about what you are inspired to make, what you want to make. It's your audience telling you, I've got money. Here's my credit card. Make this for me. And let me tell you, that is a pretty damn good way to get an idea of potential directions that you can go into.
It's the fastest way.
Powerful. Yes.
It is the fastest way, right? So pets, people's pets, they want their dog painted. They want their cat painted or shot, you know, photography or whatever. Like, custom is the way of breaking through, you guys, of like your like fixed offering that you came up with and just getting to what people want. Okay. And so that point that Patrick is making is so important because if you're marketing your art on social media and all that stuff to your audience, right? Emailing it out, whatever you're doing, and nothing is selling or it's not selling to your liking, there's a disconnect between you and your audience. There's a disconnect. They will buy something. They have art on their walls more than likely, and they'll buy, merch items and different things like that. But there's a disconnect between those two. And this is a huge problem. This is a huge, 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 huge problem with many, many of the artists and photographers out there. Okay. And by simply offering the custom art, you open up this whole new door and people start telling you what they want. And you're like, oh my gosh, I had no idea this is what my audience actually wants. And it's like, you will learn a ton from it. You will get new insights into subject matter that you might be able to create. Like you will have potentially a whole different path for your art business that gets you cash flow sooner. And I'm not telling you to love what it is. You might be like, I love painting beaches all day long because they make me feel good. Keep doing that. But if you want to make a little bit of money on it, maybe add the part that adds some cash flow in there, because if that's important for your life, then, having retirement income, having side income, it doesn't matter what it is, right? But this is a path to getting there and getting the information that you need. And it's so amazing because what you will probably end up finding after a long enough period of time of doing this, and I mean like a couple of months, 6 months or something like that, is not only will you be making some money, but you're also going to start seeing some patterns. You're like, why did I get like 5 requests for this? And you're like, oh, you know what? Maybe I should be making my next niche subject matter offering that. Exactly.
Yep.
That's exactly the point. You don't have the information, the data, and this is a way of getting the information while you're making money from it, while you're making people happy. And it's a great thing too. And the other thing too, Pat, that's so great about the custom artwork strategy is that when somebody buys that custom piece of artwork, in the case of like original art or a print, is that you give them a deal. After they buy it, you give them an awesome deal. Like, hey, by the way, I'm going to give you 25% off for the next week on every media type I offer, everything, right? And also everything in my store if you want to buy other pieces. So what is if somebody gets a custom piece of artwork, and I'm speaking as somebody who has bought many of these, right? What's the number one thing you want next? I would love a set of coasters of that piece of artwork I just bought. I would
there's
love
so many ways to expand on it for sure.
Ornaments. It's like there's so many. Like you could buy a print, another print of it, and give it to a friend. Like the upsells are awesome on this, right? Awesome. And so there's a whole playbook and like a whole like thing around this, but it's really, really a big deal because, like I was saying, most people make the mistake and they're like, I want to make money off my talent. Then they just go pick 3 subject matters and they try to sell it, and they're like, oh, it's not working, and they're all frustrated. And, really what they need to do is get closer to their customer, get closer to their audience. You and I have been talking about this the last few days on these sessions, on these lives, about like getting 100 true fans. And there's a great article on that. We should send it to everybody, or we should post it. And that's all about understanding that, you got to know your audience. You got to know what they want. And create fans out of it. If you're disconnected, you're not creating any fans. You're not understanding anything. So this is a way of getting way, way, way closer, removing all this friction between you and your audience and figuring out what actually might buy, but more importantly, getting you some money in your pocket today. So I would go. Is it custom that they can drop to get the strategy?
Custom, yeah, it's custom.
Guys, if you want the custom artwork strategy that we're talking about right now, all you have to do is drop a comment custom on this post that you're watching. Drop the comment custom right now, and we will send it to you. We will literally send a DM back to you with a link to this custom artwork strategy, and it's free. And you can do it today. By the way, any art storefronts customers that are on this, that have done this, because I know like thousands of you have already done this because we've had this for a couple of years, or probably a year now, I think. Can you drop a comment on here and just say whether, if you've done it and what happened to you? Because I'm sure there's several on here who have done it and have done it successfully.
And
by the way, it takes minutes to do, Pat. That's one of the other things. It's like a 20-minute thing. That's why we say everybody can do it today. The only reason you're not doing it today to put money in your pocket, guys, is it's your decision. It's on you. So if you take 2 weeks to do this, or 5 months, or 5 years, that's on you. But you can make money from this more than likely today.
Today. And I mean today. And to be honest with you, we're on limited time. I need to make one point. We need to talk about our announcements, and then I know you've got to go. After Nick goes, I am going to show you how I would do this as soon as this damn Instagram live is over, going and making a reel, talking directly to my audience and dropping it in a period of 2 minutes. It is so easy to do. But I'll just tell you right now, like one of the things that Nick and I constantly flirt with is like, do we need to just start an online university that teaches art and photography, business and marketing, like literally a 4-year program? Because there's such a paucity. There's never been any classes that actually teach creatives how to monetize their damn talent and some of these business fundamentals that we talk about. And I'm telling you right now, if I taught, if I was responsible for coming up with some classes, and I would, one of them would be a requirement that everyone, there's no teaching except for how to do this, that every one of my students would have to go out and get 20 pieces of custom artwork over the line. And I don't even care how you go about doing it. I am going to contact the 20 people that you freaking got these custom artwork deals over the line with to verify, and you get an A in the class, because it's a skill set, you guys. It is how you find out what the new trend sending stuff is, what there is high demand for, niches you wouldn't even imagine. Then it's like, if you are staring at a blank canvas with no ideas, and you're staring at your camera like, what should I go shoot? Okay. Do you know how big of a leg up that is to have a data point that says, wait a minute, everyone seems to be gravitating towards this. What if I combined this and did a spin of this and shot it this way? You guys are creatives, but it's like, it's no different than like, you know, everyone hates AI, right? But AI is great at dealing with the blank page. Like, hey, AI, help me write a story about such and such. And then it puts some stuff on there, which is mostly garbage. But then you're like, that was a great idea. It got me going. It got me past the blank page. But anyway, we are having a massive sale, guys. The month almost ends. What does the month end? Do you know? Have you looked at the calendar?
Tomorrow is the last day to get this deal, but go ahead.
Yeah, so we have a massive deal that I'm not even allowed to publish because it gets us in trouble. If you've been on our email list, you've seen it. But if you want to see our software, all the bells, all the whistles, all the plans, all the pricing, all the everything, we're running a webinar
Art Business University, right? Because we've got that as well. Yeah. It's the closest thing to it, and our customers get it.
I'm just trying to figure out how many hours from now. 3 hours from now? 4 hours from now?
What time is it at? 3 p.m. Central?
Yeah, 3 p.m. Central, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern today. All you have to do is leave a comment on this with the word Zoom, and we'll send you an invite directly to your box. And you want to do that anyway if you want to see it, because what happens is if you register and you can't attend because life happens, they'll send you a replay, you know, so you can watch it after the fact. So very, very important thing to contemplate or to go and see if you haven't seen it, because we have a huge deal going on. And then what else? Did you have other announcements? Or you had pile on?
No, that was the big one. It's just that this big mega deal is ending tomorrow.
Yeah. We get so excited talking about the damn content that I forget to do any of the business stuff. So yeah, huge thing there. And you can request demos all over our site too, if you want a private one-on-one. But no joke, we are going crazy this last week. So definitely something to check out and be interested in. Yeah, I would. You have anything else on that? Or can I go?
No, I think did we get dropped off of Instagram?
Yeah, we did. Hold on. We're having trouble streaming Instagram and this is expected. It continues to try creating an Instagram stream. That bums me out.
We could end this one, and because I've got to run anyway, and we can do another one later.
Yeah, I'll do another one later. I'll figure out. I'll probably just pick this right up. You can go. God,
okay.
So frustrating.
Sounds good. No worries.
Yeah. Bye.